Hey guys, Scar9 here, welcome back to my channel today. Bungie just wrapped up their ride along for the Wrath of the Machine raid, and I know some of you guys don't have an hour to 2 hours to go ahead and watch that, so I thought I would condense all of the most interesting information into one short video for you guys. I'm going to be calling it a 5 things you guys didn't know video, but in reality there are way more than 5 facts. I sort of just separated it into the different parts of the raid, as you'll see as we progress through this video, but we're just going to go ahead and call it 5 things you guys didn't know and roll with it. If any of you are interested in watching the entire stream, I will have it linked down below once it is up on Bungie's past broadcast list. But let's go ahead and get into this. So the first fact you guys didn't know is that the entrance of the raid wasn't always a giant flaming orb that resembles a servitor. As you can see by early concept art of this area, it was actually an old factory type of setting. However, this ended up being changed in the final stages as they felt the factory setting wasn't impressive enough to be a raid entrance. They decided to go with the giant orb because it is much more impressive and fits the theme much better. Now we can go ahead and move on to the jump puzzles and the Vosik arena, as well as the overall feel of the raid. The developers said that a big influence for many parts of the raid are the spider-like habits that the Fallen possess. For instance, the reason that the tanks are left hanging in the jump puzzle is because the Fallen plan to use them at a later date, so they just go ahead and string them up in the middle of the wall and leave them there for future experiments. In addition, Vosik's arena is made to look like a spider-like nest for Siva, and that's why there's Siva strands hung up all over the entrance and exits of the room, as well as just kind of in the arena in general. The next fact actually has to do with some concept art for Vosik's. Before the concept of Siva was really implemented into the game, the developers envisioned the Fallen splicing themselves with regular technology. This is actually what Vosik looked like before the addition of the Siva to the raid. As you can see, he's just taking random pieces of technology and attached them to himself, and I actually really like this because it shows the creative process behind designing these bosses, which is something I am absolutely fascinated with. The fourth fact that you guys did not know is actually a collection of different facts dealing with the Siege Engine encounter. Just like many fights in raids, this encounter has actually gone through many creative stages. For instance, this is what the top of the wall used to look like in early concept art. It is much more barren and desolate than the wall that we actually have in-game at the moment. In addition, I wanted to share some awesome concept art of the Siege Engine. As you can see, they always wanted this encounter to be kind of over the top and ridiculous. That's just kind of the overall theme of the Siege Engine. This is really shown by the captain wielding a guitar standing on top of the early concept model of the Siege Engine. To be honest, I'm actually quite disappointed that this wasn't actually implemented into the game. In my opinion, nothing in the game would be cooler than a captain playing a guitar on this giant machine as it rode towards you and tried to kill you. I probably would never beat the encounter because I would just be in awe the entire time. And the final fact for this encounter is that the Siege Engine is actually the most intensive animated object in the game. It takes a lot of game resources and system memory, which is why you are more inclined to lag whenever it starts. This is your system trying to process all of the different moving parts. And the fifth and final thing you guys did not know is actually a couple of facts dealing with the Axis fight. Once again, this encounter has gone through a couple of renditions. Here are actually some early concepts of what Axis would look like. I really wish that some of these models would have been used on the regular Devil Splicers, as they look like something that was just ripped straight out of a game like Dead Space, and I definitely would have enjoyed those models more than the ones that we received, but I'm guessing that they didn't do that to keep the game at more of a PG-13 feel because those are kind of more grotesque. Next, Axis was actually referred to as Mexis during the development of the raid. However, the writers decided they liked the name Axis better for a final raid boss and instead gave the name Mexis to a major that locks down the Siege Engine during that encounter. And the final fact of the video is that 3 of Coins will never proc on Axis. This is because while designing the character model for Axis, the Bungie developers actually started with the character model for a spider tank and built up from there. They did this to save man hours and resources, but it did have some unintended side effects on 3 of Coins. And I'm not sure if you guys know this, but 3 of Coins actually do not proc when you kill a spider tank. So when you kill Axis, since he is technically a model of a spider tank, they will not work on him either. But those are all 5 of today's facts. Like I said, there was quite a bit more than that, but we're just going to go ahead and go with it. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating and share with your friends. If you guys have not seen that video, you can go ahead and click the annotation on screen to be taken to it. Finally, subscribe for more awesome Destiny content, and I'll see you guys in my next video.